In this video, I'm going to go over the house textures assignment. Specifically, once you've created your textures, how do you then apply them to the house and sort of deal with the UVs? So here is that house OBJ, which is right on the assignment page. And just a note that if you look at its UVs, they're all unwrapped, but they're not all arranged or oriented the way you're probably going to want them. So ultimately what we're going to be doing is first creating materials. You'll create one material per texture. So for instance, you'll create a material for the shingles, a material for the bricks or stones, and a material for the wood. And then you can assign them to the specific parts of the house. All right, I'm just going to do two of them just so you get a sense of how this works. So I'm going to go back to the layout, and I'll just start with a roof. So I'm actually going to just select the roof, go to the Materials tab down here. I actually already have a roof material, it looks like, applied to that or assigned to that. It doesn't have the texture on there yet, so I'm going to go ahead and switch over to this shading tab up top. Down here in the material editor, you can see there's the main material input, but I just need a base color input over here. So I'm going to go to add, or you can do Shift A, texture, image texture. This is basically like a container for your color file. I'm going to just make the connection right there from there to there. Now I'm going to go to the open button, and I think I've got these on my desktop, so I'm going to start with my shingles color. And so that connection has been made. Now I'm going to zoom out a little bit. You can't see it yet because we're still, I am anyway, just in solid modes. If I switch over to, say, Material Preview, now you can see everything's assigned correctly. Great. So now I'm going to switch back over, say, to the walls. That also has, that may need a new material. No, it's got something called Material 08. I'm going to rename that. I'll just call this bricks. I actually personally kind of like to do the naming convention of M underscore, just so I know that that's a material as opposed to, say, a texture or something else. But then I'm going to go back over here. There's the bricks material that I'm doing the editing for. I'm going to go again, Shift A, texture, image texture, repeat the process, connect the color to the base color, go to the open, navigate, find my bricks color. There it is. And now you can see that's been set up correctly. So the material part, that's easy. Again, you're just going to do it one more time for the wood, and then you're going to apply that to all the wood parts. Just a reminder, you can ignore the window, you can ignore the door, you can ignore the door knocker or whatever, the door handle. All the other parts though, the base, the corner pieces, those are all just going to be assigned the wood material that you would create. Okay, so now that I've done all that, then it's up to you to do the UV adjustments. So I'm going to go back over here. Again, it's going to be helpful. I've just switched to UV editing. It's going to be helpful to switch over to Material Preview so you can actually see what's happening. So now I'm going to select the roof, and you can see even though the shingles are applied, it doesn't look right. The orientation is wrong and the tiling is wrong. So I'm just going to start by going into edit mode for that. Select all of the UVs, just A. And remember, this is seamless and tiling. So I can start scaling these. I'm just going to hit S and start scaling these up. And what's implied, even though you can't see the texture tiling here in the UV editor, it really is. That's why we can't see like the gray areas appear. So now you can see I can just kind of keep scaling this until the tiling looks pretty good. And then I can say, all right, next up I need to change the orientation. So I'm just going to try rotating this. And if I hold down the Control key, looks like it's the other way. Just doing it 90 degrees. And that looks pretty good. So I can just repeat the same process for any other materials, or should I say any other parts. Go back to object mode. Now I'm going to go back to the walls, edit mode. Now in this case the orientation already looks correct, but maybe the tiling needs to increase. So I don't need to rotate this, but I can also just scale this up a little bit to get some more tiling, some more repeats, or something like that. And that's the general idea. And then it's just a question of presenting. So hopefully that's helpful in understanding how to do the creation of materials and the dealing with the UVs.